from the Radio What Studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com, as in Little Rock, Arkansas. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. Make your next thing a big one. This week's shows. I'll be back at the Cedar Lounge in Morrilton, Arkansas on Thursday evening from 6 to 10. It's the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. We did one last Thursday and they said, oh yeah, we want this back. Oh, please. Yes, please. So I'll be back at the Cedar Lounge. It's a nice place and it lives up to its name. It's all cedar. It smells real nice, looks real nice. We're outside on the party patio, at least till it gets cool, and then we'll probably move it on inside. Outside is 21 and over, and then inside they have a great restaurant, full bar. So that one is family friendly. So from what I understand, there's some good food there. I'm gonna have to check it out. I was looking at all the people having their food and drinks, and it was good over at the Cedar Lounge in Morrilton, Arkansas. That's this Thursday night from 6 to 10. Check that out. And then on Friday night, my usual Friday night gig, I'll be at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The place to be on a Friday night in Conway. That's right, the Rab, R-A-B. Backwards, it spells B-A-R. That way, when you look at it in your rearview mirror, it says bar. That's how they get away with it in a dry county. It's a club. They got a full bar. The kitchen's open, pool tables, pool tournament on a Friday night. So if you want to try to make some money playing pool, I encourage you to do so on a Friday night. And that's from 8 p.m. until just about 1 a.m. Yeah, that's a good time, Friday nights. And then Saturday, I got a wedding in Quitman. So unless you're invited, you can't come. But I'm so happy that the weddings are coming back. Excitement, yes. And if you'd like to watch me do some online game streaming, I encourage you to check out #KeysDanGaming. And if you want to tell your story or hear the stories of others, check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Monday, October 5th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Trump greets well-wishers outside hospital. President Trump briefly left Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Maryland, where he has been treated for the coronavirus since Friday, to drive by supporters gathered outside. Trump sat in the back of an SUV wearing a black cloth mask. At least 2 Secret Service members accompanied him in the vehicle. It was not clear whether there was a partition in the vehicle to provide added protection for the occupants inside not infected with the virus. The New York Times reported Trump's doctors revealed that the president's oxygen levels had dipped twice, indicating that his condition was more serious than some White House officials had suggested, but that he was doing better and could be discharged as soon as Monday. Quote, "It's been a very interesting journey. I learned a lot about COVID," end quote. Trump said in a video posted to social media. Quote, "I get it," end quote. This is according to the New York Times and the Associated Press. Number 2, Biden expands lead over Trump in post-debate poll. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden widened his national lead over President Trump after Tuesday's debate, according to an NBC News Wall Street Journal poll released on Sunday. The poll was conducted 2 days after the acrimonious debate and before Trump tested positive for COVID-19. Biden surged to a 14-point lead over Trump among registered voters, 53% to 39%. It is Biden's largest lead of the campaign in this poll. Biden led by 8 points before the debate, the first of 3 scheduled before the November 3rd election, and his biggest previous edge was 11 points. Bill McInturf, a Republican pollster who directed the survey with Democratic with Democrat Jeff Horowitz said the chaotic debate might have delivered a, quote, shock to the system, end quote. But Trump has a history of bouncing back. This is according to the Wall Street Journal and NBC News. Number 3, report. Trump kept quiet about first positive COVID-19 test. When President Trump called into Fox News on Thursday night and confirmed that his close aide, Hope Hicks, tested positive for COVID-19, he didn't mention that he also had a positive result from a rapid test and was awaiting results from a more reliable screening. The Wall Street Journal reported Sunday, citing several people familiar with the matter. Trump told Fox host Sean Hannity he had been tested and would get the results back, quote, either tonight or tomorrow morning, end quote. Early Friday morning, Trump tweeted that he and First Lady Melania Trump had tested positive for coronavirus. Trump reportedly told an unidentified advisor that his aides should keep their positive test results to themselves, saying, quote, don't tell anyone, end quote. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. Number 4, California wildfire season surpasses 4 million acres burned. The biggest wildfire season in California history reached a new milestone on Sunday, surpassing 4 million acres burned. The total is now more than double the previous record of 1.8 million acres burned in 2018. At least 31 people have been killed in wildfires this year, and more than 8,200 structures have been destroyed. More than 100 people died in the 2018 season, most of them in the Camp Fire that devastated the town of Paradise, and more than 17,000 homes and 700 businesses were destroyed. The August Complex Fire, the largest in state history, was whipped back to life over the weekend by high winds, jumping the containment line. Authorities told people in the towns of Wildwood and Platina to prepare to evacuate. This is according to the Los Angeles Times. Number 5, Biden negative in third coronavirus test since Friday. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden tested negative for the coronavirus for the third time since his debate last week with President Trump, Biden's campaign said on Sunday. Trump was hospitalized Friday after testing positive and showing symptoms of COVID-19. Biden's campaign has said that the former vice president is tested regularly. His campaign previously said it would only report the results if Biden tested positive, but on Sunday it reversed and said it would release the results after every Biden coronavirus test. Biden was tested twice early Friday after Trump announced his infection. Biden and Trump stood about 13 feet apart during the debate, and neither wore a mask. This is according to the Washington Post. Number 6, New York City to close schools in some neighborhoods as COVID-19 cases rise. New York City will close non-essential businesses and about 100 public schools in 9 Queens and Brooklyn neighborhoods with spiking new coronavirus cases, Mayor de Blasio announced on Sunday. The closures will start Wednesday, pending state approval. The city is scrambling to contain a rising number of new cases after a slowdown of infections over the summer. An hour before de Blasio's announcement, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, Democrat, said the state would enforce guidelines in the areas with spiking COVID-19 cases, including Brooklyn and Queens in New York City. Quote, local governments have not done an effective job of enforcing these hotspots zip codes, end quote, Cuomo said. About a dozen neighborhoods have seen positivity rates increase above 3% for 7 straight days. This is according to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. Number 7, strengthening storm could threaten Gulf Coast at week's end. A new tropical depression is developing in the Caribbean and threatening to strengthen before a possible landfall on the U.S. Gulf Coast at the end of the week. The National Hurricane Center said the system, currently called Tropical Depression 26, could develop into Tropical Storm Delta on Monday. Tropical Depression 26 could hit the Cayman Islands with tropical storm conditions late Monday. Hurricane conditions are possible on the western tip of Cuba late Tuesday. The storm strengthening could be accelerated by an interaction with Tropical Storm Gamma, which killed at least 6 people after hitting Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Delta could be a Category 2 hurricane with top sustained winds of 100 miles per hour by Friday. This is according to weather and USA Today. Number 8, Supreme Court starts term at center of partisan battles. The Supreme Court begins its 2020 term on Monday on the verge of a possible ideological shift to the right as Republicans push to confirm conservative Judge Amy Coney Barrett to fill the seat of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a leading voice of the court's liberal wing. The 8 remaining justices start the session shorthanded as they face a wave of emergency petitions from Democrats and Republicans about the handling of mail-in ballots in the looming elections. President Trump has claimed without evidence that an expected surge of mail-in ballots due to the coronavirus pandemic will result in widespread fraud. And he had said the Supreme Court might wind up ruling on the result of his race against Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. This is according to USA Today. Number 9, Toomey reportedly won't seek re-election in 2022. Senator Pat Toomey, Republican Pennsylvania, does not plan to run for re-election in 2022, the Philadelphia Inquirer reported Sunday, citing 2 people with knowledge of the matter. The conservative Toomey, 58, is expected to make a formal announcement on Monday. He is now serving his second term and won both of his Senate races by narrow margins. Toomey is the only Republican holding statewide office in Pennsylvania other than judges. And there was talk he might run for governor in 2022, but he has decided against that, the Inquirer reports. Toomey's office would not confirm or deny the Inquirer's report. This is according to the Inquirer, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Number 10, fashion designer Kenzo Takada dies of COVID-19 complications at 81. French-Japanese fashion designer Kenzo Takada has died from COVID-19 complications in a hospital near Paris, his family said in a statement to French media on Sunday. He was 81. Quote, "It is with immense sadness that Kenzo has learned of the passing of our founder," end quote. The fashion house confirmed in a statement, quote, "For half a century, Mr. Takada has been an emblematic personality in the fashion industry, always infusing creativity and color into the world," end quote. Takada was known for what the Associated Press described as his, quote, "jungle-infused designs and free-spirited aesthetic that channeled global travel," end quote. He retired from his fashion house in 1999 to focus on his art, but remained an icon of French fashion. His Kenzo brand has been owned by French luxury goods company LVMH since 1993. This is according to the Associated Press. That's 10 things you need to know today for Monday, October 5th, 2020. Thank you so much for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter. I hope everybody's doing reasonably well. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you're up to in this time, in these crazy, crazy times. Oh, man. I know all the news was pretty much bad news. You know, the president's got COVID-19, and he's in a big bubble. I imagine, we'll all end up getting it, but if you're scared, stay home. If you don't want to come out to events, if you don't want to go out, don't. But if you're feeling okay, if you feel good, get outside, go enjoy yourself, live your life. I mean, wear your mask, do what the scientists say. I'm wearing my mask when I go outside and when I interact with people, but don't live your life like, in fear. I can't live in fear. I can't live in fear. How about my example? I can't live in fear, but I will do as the scientists say. If I am interacting with other people, I'll wear a mask, especially if they ask me to. There you go. But keep yourself in a bubble. I mean, I know I shouldn't laugh, but you have to make yourself a safe space. Make yourself a spot that's clean enough to where, like this, if you're watching the video version of this, you can see that I'm not wearing a mask. I feel safe in my own environment. I feel safe in my own studio. I feel safe in my own spot, in my own family bubble. So make yourself a family bubble that you can feel safe in. Take care of yourself. And then if you can, take care of somebody else. How about that? And then in turn, the whole world will be fine. Come on, scientists, get that cure. I want to go out and play. I want to go out and do stuff like normal people, like go to a restaurant, like go to the movies. I know I didn't go to the movies too often as I have a big giant screen in my own house. I'm spoiled rotten. I am. Oh, and Hank, man, there's a little tip from me to you. If you're going to spend $10,000 on a 60-inch TV, I encourage you, spend about $300 on a projector and just project it up on a white wall. If you don't have a white wall, put up a white sheet or a white movie screen. Get yourself a 120-inch TV for about $300. How about that? There you go. You never know what you're going to get out on what makes you smarter. I know my family's spoiled rotten. They've been watching this big giant screen. And every once in a while, after about 2 or maybe 3 years or 4 years, the projector goes out. You just go get another projector for $300. Okay. Or a bulb. The bulb is good too. I have the bulb's probably about $60. So there you go. All right. If you want to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Watch me stream some online games using the hashtag Keys Dan Gaming. I'm streaming online at YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Gaming. Yeah, that's it for me. It's Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace.